Imagine you have to choose a companion for the afternoon. One person offers high praise, constantly noting your brilliance and potential. The other offers harsh, biting criticism. Most of us assume we'd pick the fan, but psychological data reveals a glitch in that logic. Individuals with low self-esteem or a negative self-image will actively, repeatedly choose the person who insults them. This behavior is the foundation of self-verification theory. It suggests that our drive for psychological consistency, the need to be right about who we are, is more powerful than our desire for positive reinforcement. Human behavior follows a script written from the inside out. We will quit our jobs or reject healthy relationships simply because the outside world no longer matches our internal narrative. We prioritize a predictable negative reality over an unpredictable positive one. This drive to verify our self-image stems from a cognitive flaw known as naive realism. This is the hardwired belief that we perceive the world exactly as it is, without any subjective filters. We operate as if our eyes are clear windows, rather than tinted lenses. Take a subjective debate, like music. If you truly believe Missy Elliott is the absolute greatest artist of her era, your brain processes that talent as a material fact, no different from the law of gravity. Because we treat our own views as absolute truth, we struggle to understand disagreement. If someone else sees the world differently, we automatically categorize them as uninformed, biased, or wrong. Blindly trusting our own objectivity allows us to manipulate our surroundings without noticing. We curate our social circles and media feeds to ensure our version of reality is never challenged, protecting our ego at the expense of the truth. To understand why we protect our internal reality, we look toward philosophy, specifically the work of psychiatrist Irvin D. Yalom. Yalom focused on a concept he called existential isolation. Existential isolation is the permanent barrier of consciousness between self and others. You are the only person who will ever live inside your mind. While social skills solve loneliness, existential isolation means we are fundamentally alone in our perception. Locked inside our own heads, we lack an objective grounding in the universe. Without external confirmation, it can feel like our very existence is unverified. That lack of grounding creates a deep-seated terror. We attempt to solve it by making the outside world mirror our inside world. We need the environment to reflect our self-image back to us so we can feel real. This explains the friction of unearned praise. If you secretly harbor a negative view of yourself, a compliment creates cognitive dissonance. It tells your brain your internal map is wrong, threatening your entire sense of reality. To stop this dissonance, we take active countermeasures. We use physical cues, like avoiding eye contact, or behave in negative ways to evoke expected rejection. We force others to see us exactly as we see ourselves. Our brains even filter the data for us. Human memory and attention are biased towards self-confirmation. If we have a negative self-view, we will forget 100 compliments while obsessing over a single insult. In the logic of the human brain, a miserable predictability is safer than the unknown. We would rather be certain of our flaws than face the existential terror of a reality we don't recognize. When individual defense mechanisms scale to a societal level, they fuel extreme polarization. Our drive for self-verification makes it harder to acknowledge perspectives that contradict our own. Digital environments weaponize these traits. Algorithms act as self-verification engines, building epistemic bubbles that show us exactly what we already believe. They provide a constant stream of data that validates our subjective reality as the only reality. We are seeing the result of mass naive realism. Different groups watch the exact same event and walk away with radically different realities. Because we trust our eyes implicitly, we assume those on the other side must be delusional. Technology has offered us a way to feel right at all times, but it has only deepened our isolation. We are better at validating our biases than we are at connecting with another human mind. There is an evidence-based alternative. Field research from the Caucasus region suggests our social structures can mitigate these effects. Researchers found that despite high internet use, subjective loneliness was decreasing. By 2025, nearly 75% of youth reported they never felt lonely. The mechanism is collective practice. traditional family rituals and cultural events provide a shared reality. When you belong to a group with deep-rooted practices, the need for individual self-verification is superseded by a sense of communal existence. Simply being educated about these biases can also change our behavior. Research shows that when people are taught about naive realism, their brains drop their defensive posture. Recognizing that our perception is subjective significantly increases our empathy and cultural acceptance. We may never truly bridge the gap between human minds, but recognizing our shared psychological blindness is a start. It is the only way to reach across the void and see the world through someone else's eyes.